Alright, everything looks good to go. Hello once again, everybody. I am Rip, and I am back with some more Final Fantasy XIV. Dawntrail. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the patch content this time because, well, I kind of jumped the gun and kind of played Dawntrail on my off time. But you get the pleasure of participating in it and participating in the streams proper for, New Game Plus. Speaking of, I think that's now... Oh no, that's right, new Hall of the Novice stuff for, tactical training. I'll get to that another time. But here I am, just kind of sleeping. And up I get. So, forgive me if this seems a little out of order than usual, but here we go. And I know it's nighttime here in Tulialal, but I think you will enjoy this all the same. Ah, it is a pleasure as always, Southern. Have you been able to relax lately? Yep. Wonderful. Busy as you have been, with the Rata succession among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Turiolol at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Zibalite is one such way to do so. If made a traditional way and laden with fillings, they're absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Brook Ivu, will look after you. Tacos. Well, what is it, Valsid? Alone today, are you? Just today. I see. If you're hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Give a token of gratitude for your help with tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find the table. I'll bring you your meal as soon as it's ready. Yeah, you still love tacos, I hope. You ate so many that you turned 5. You could barely move upwards, remember that? Hmm? No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Right, sorry, it's still strange for me too. The other day you were a little boy, clinging to your mother's skirt as you were set off for Yasulani. Now you're a man grown with a face full of hair. And so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. Still family, and you can always rely on me. Lying feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. And you and everyone else. I couldn't even start a fire with assistance at my new job. In Alexandria, we had electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. Here, I'm helpless. A culinarian who can't even light the stove. Wait, the others in the kitchen stared at me. God, Sid, never felt so embarrassed. Sorry to hear that. I've been told the tales, but it seems life is really different within the dome. Wife and children. I was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled, but at this rate... That's how you send for them. They're your family, then they're mine too. Do whatever's necessary to make it work. Huh? I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliolal. Wow, what? Great folk like yourself, we've established a support group at the Wing of Reflection. There you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know. but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. Definitely seek this group out and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Pat, 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 pat. Oh, look what it is! I was just about to go and find you, Valzen. You don't mind the company, I hope. I could use a bite to eat myself. Also, damn, this music is loud. Hope it's not too loud for all y'all. The tacos never disappoint. So, what have you been up to lately? I've been making a name for myself with the Arcadian. You'll find me in the arena in Alexandria? By facing off against top opponents, I'd wager you honed your skills even further. As for myself, I've been kept busy with duties at the palace. But whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kaona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Oh? Kaona and I have something we want to discuss with you, as Dawn servants. You have the time to come to the palace? Sure, got nothing but time. Great, I'll go on ahead. Please, come and join us once you finish here. Whatever this is, it must be important. Triple stairway. Oh.
Master Velson, it is always an honor. Falcona has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you within before long.
Cutscene. Ah! Got my fan club. Raha, Kryl, Alphino, Alice, eh? Hey guys! Oh, you're all here too? Falcona summoned us. Truth be told, Alphino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hainish culture, you see, and for further strengthening your alliance. We were of course happy to oblige him. Kryl and I were likewise summoned. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. Our grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Urianger have left to resume their tour of Tural. Ishola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. Alright. If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. I'd like to be stuck with her for a while. I'm not seeing an issue. As for Sinian, we know neither where he is nor what he is doing. Some things never change. Yeah. Uh, my apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So, what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. The state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Guluja and his administration have invited us to attend. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yatholani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites. Still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen be thus honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. People of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Indeed, the funeral will give Alexandrians a chance to come together to express their grief. They might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I decided to go. Not only to be there for Gululja, but to put this chapter behind us. That, and that I request your presence, was none other than to see if you wish to attend the funeral. You know Sphene as well, after all. That's a good question, because I was the one who killed her. That would be inappropriate. Because of your role in her demise, I take it. We had no choice. We had to stop her from killing countless innocents. I won't force you to attend the funeral if it makes you feel uncomfortable, but while I represent Tuliolo in an official capacity, I'd like it if you could be there to watch over everything. Alright, fine. Just don't tell anyone what I did. I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people, and to the others. Let us stand with you. Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Gululja in the back room. Huh? Crossroads. Actually, wait, what am I doing? I have these. Oh no, we're gonna be surrounded by obnoxious yellow wallpaper and chased by black bacteria monsters. This would be my favorite location in... well, at least one of them in Dawntrail. Fucking Neo Future City! Yes, I'm going to be stuck in the back rooms. Glitch me through reality! Hello, Zoral Jr.
Oh, you came for the funeral.
Of course, I'm the one who officially took... I'm the one who'll officially take part, though. The others will be watching over the proceedings. So, how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit.
I'm good. Shell is always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep's systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly.
Studious as always, I see. By the way of a treat, I brought you gâteau au chocolate. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it.
Thank you, Lamartine. And thank you for coming. I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here.
Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here, according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? But what kind of flowers?
She's a child!
Actually, you know what? This is my... Fuck it, I'm doing it.
The flowers are to be handed out at Praxis Park. We're thinking of heading over there now.
He'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with. Kosan. He was apparently Spheen's aide and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. That's what I'm gonna be doing now. Any of them that happen to have the names Ja in their name, I'm immediately gonna be trying my best to, like, Jar Jar. We all know the joke. Why, you're... I'm Val Wuklam Hut of Tuliola. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Spheen's funeral. We are honored, truly. I'd seen you before from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I'm Ghassan, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I've been responsible for administrating affairs of state.
Can we get our flowers here?
Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured, they are not a requirement. We are aware your people do not use them. See, people in Alexandria of old wore tokens of mourning upon their persons when attending funerals. As such tokens were black. It was suggested that we might wear regulators painted of the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able.
I see.
Yet regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Spheen. Remember her and her kindness as you make the offering of your flower.
I read.
Proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please, take your place once you have your flower. That's a lot of people. Then again, it's... bit of lag.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands. Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together. Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we must. We will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed. And let us keep our beloved Queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
That's up to you.
What will happen indeed? Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
But would that be enough?
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit. As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad. I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Guloja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
But that you do feel sad. But rather than holding on to it, better to just let it all out. Aside from that, well, There's also some happiness in being sad about the loss. Because that helps give meaning to all those happy times. But you did know them. Hey, Goluja, do you really know nothing at all about your mother?
Shall search the system for information on residents. But the only Mamilja she found listed were my father and me.
Okay, I don't think I can do the Jar Jar thing. It'd be funny, but...
Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it.
Do you want to know your mother?
I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again. If I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I see. Well, if that's what you want... then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well. I believe I speak for the others too.
Sure.
Why not? What? I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral.
Hey, I just want to know how you were born to begin with. I'm thinking you're a clone.
We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to just leave. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. Alright. Thank you, everyone. Assuming neither memories nor records of Gululja's mother remain, we must cast aside and cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Bowsen, if you can make inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution 9. But what's to say you can't transfer Electrope to... like, incorporate Electrope into Tuliolo culture? This is how Tuliolo culture has been incorporated into Electrope. I'm an old woman. The people have never been a common sight around here. The last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. She was among an entourage of Landscar that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Tuliolo after the mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. Sorry, but I've never heard of a Mamulja woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Zeralcha. You might have better luck talking to the people over at Tonawatan, settlement to the north of Everkeep. A place called Uweyawata.
The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, or so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. These names. For a Mamalja woman? Oh, good little just mother. Can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know a little about Zoralja, than only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, the Toral Hidral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zoralja assembled a party of warriors and with them confronted and felled the beast. It was interesting to hear of the king's feat in the past. So now that I have a chance to say this, I do apologize for being gone for so long. Like, I don't think I streamed. I think I barely streamed at all in October, if I did. I was just caught in a funk. I won't go into details about it, but I was not in a good headspace, physically or mentally. But also I now have a lot of time on my hands again. Encore. So I want to make up for it with some more streams, if I can. Lilja has told me all. We previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. So we spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all our findings and see what conclusions we might draw. So Zoralja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yesulani, among whom was a female Mamalja. His mission was to rid the region of a Toral Vidral, and I believe it's safe to say that the crisis in Uwewata had been resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps with just the villagers with recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten trapped in the dome. We also heard stories about the settlement in Uwewata. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zoralja made regular visits. If he required secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would be ideal. And if this Mamalja woman had remained there, they would have had occasion to come in contact. I see, but what could Zoralja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Zoralja's steps, Raha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside FFXIV, per the King's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was believed to have been under the King's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon. I'm afraid that was all we could learn. It's planning to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So if we look into transportation records... your jaw's hanging open. There it is. Routes are all full of detours and attempts at obfuscation. But large deliveries were being made to Uewata. Ueyawata. Not too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though. The facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. It's amazing! Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all this out. Each piece of the puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins to form. And even should memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. So we'll be investigating the secret facility in Ueyawata then. Yes. And this time I want you to come along, Gululja. Ueyawata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the drift downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. I cannot get a kid's voice right. At least not one like his. Oh, Bay Alexis, thank you for following. Now the hover cargo will take us across the lake. Never been over there before. It's still inside the dome, so I don't expect it to be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright. Be careful, everyone. Alright. Alright, former party. Who am I taking with?
I stand ever ready.
It's like Graha. Sorry, Pryle.
Let's give it our all.
Actually, no, Alizé is prone to limit breaks.
I won't let you down.
Let's rock. Ooh. Unlike the wastelands before, this is a pine forest. Oh, this is nice. We're gonna have a zombie survival game here. Oh, that must have come here for a reason. I think we'd find a place like this so far from Everkeep. Puppy's here too? Oh, yeah. Time for some action. The power of Daka.
Allow me.
Okay.
You cannot stop us.
Bit of a melancholy mystery vibe to the scene. So, Carl, if you're gonna duck out of the way of an attack, the least you could do is attack immediately after getting out of the way. Alright, I have 2 openers ready. Lightning rods are still operational. The burst damage of a machinist.
You'll not escape this.
No, but it will survive that. Alright, let her rip. I'm like a lumberjack, only I don't cut down trees. I'm cutting you down. Okay, good. Got it in time. You've done it! Wrath of the Heavens is frightening indeed. Thunder Pig! Quite the mouthful of fangs. Don't get too close. Oxmane, be careful. Jeez, those are some ridiculous looking tusks. Like, look at that. Wait, what's that? Crafty bastard. Oh no, not again. Nope, nope. You stop that. You stop charging right now. I said stop.
Hold still.
Oh no. No, 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 no. No. Holy cow. What? It all worked out. Yeah. So the facility's still here. What kind of research should I do here? A remote facility with a secret purpose. Hardly any signs there was ever a village here. His Majesty is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body. Safety and ethical concerns have ensured no earnest attempts have been made to date, yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man. So he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. He would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further this ambition, then perhaps it is worth pursuing. Ah, animal cruelty is what they're doing here. Zombie dogs!
Hold still.
And I think also humanoid experimentation. Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast it yields mixed results. Even when stripped of memories, a feral soul can induce psychological instability in the subject.
I suspect this is because primal instincts remain. And while a certain amount of bestial ferocity is expected, and I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutations. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of uncontrolled mutation. Looks like some of them escaped. Are those experimenting on their own? Yeah, those are people. There were people in those tanks. Zombies. They're moving. Yep. Wrong button. Destructive power! Happened here? Someone let the monsters loose. Or maybe the monsters were the researchers themselves. But he's got a big boy. Oh, that is a grisly looking bastard. The giant.
Hold still.
Yeah, they got it. The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated than poor Atticus. When he was altered irreparably, he lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of a Toral Vidral, it's difficult to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. Prison cells, I think. No surgery rooms. That seem to also look like prison cells. Oh great, we got the floor zombie. No. No floor of this.
What's Father doing here? If the source of our failures thus far has been in the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls, would it be able to reverse the process? By purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of its own memories, we stand to gain absolute control over a vessel. Power. A subordinate who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limits. Prepare his soul for extraction at once. Is this guy the results? I have a bad feeling about this. I'm unsettling about the ether here. What happened to them? Well, either way.
We mustn't hold back.
Ghost. Okay. Learned that lesson the hard way. He's like a full Dark Souls. Why is it not leaving? Oh no. Oh no. Well, that was annoying. Damage down. No, 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 no. Ah. These souls already. I just pray these souls are now at peace. What? Thor? I hardly believe my eyes. closer look. They were taming something here. What?
You cannot stop us!
Taka. Oh. Don't push ahead! Ah. Did it come from inside the storm? They soon face our fiercest foe yet. I don't know. I don't know. There are plenty of other foes that we fought that were pretty fierce. Like Xenos. Zeralja. Hell, even Hades was pretty rough.
Take that!
Oh, we're about to see. A rabbit? A rabid rabbit? Oh god. Bro, Lily Patti. Nightmare Rabbit. Missing something out of pandemonium. Something sealed away all this time? Like the will is overwhelming. Bugs Bunny, what did they do to you? I don't like the look of that. Let's get this going. Right between the gap. Just like the ruby weapon. Only more intense. Wait, what? I am not happy about this. What's this? Was that a fucking sandworm from Doom? Yep, those are sandworms from Doom. Holy crap! No! This is pretty cool though, I'm not gonna lie. I stepped in the goo. You almost stepped in there. All direction requirements are nullified. Okay, that's good. No, none of that. Oh no, none of that. None of that. Just accept your fate. Don't be a raw loser. Alright, time for you to eat shit. And another one bites the dust.
For all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Valley Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Tural Vidral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zeralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
Wait, it's still alive? I can see it breathing. Here we go.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Tural Vidral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
So, you've given him permission?
Teshalja, you will assist Kaniloka. As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. In what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
No, Your Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command. But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliolal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours.
And I think she got that wish.
That which I seek does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Huh. Well, there goes the clone theory. Ah, now it's dead.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I just saw this.
Teishalja. Could she be my mother?
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubiko women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kanaloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishalja there.
That's where we're going next, then.
I wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamulja women here. For a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. When I visited Tuliolol and saw some, I was finally able to picture her in my mind. One day, I hope I could see what she actually looked like as well. Alright. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let's take a look around, for information as well as a way to the upper level. Can we find something else in these rooms? Full of zombified researches? Actually, it wouldn't hurt to interact with them along the while. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave? Or did we already meet them? I think we already met them. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. The sense was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was that devotion to Zoralja so absolute? It won't open. I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. So is it resistant being open? Verification key then. Wonder what Beglug would make of this research into transferring souls. Considering the ethics involved, considering what's involved here, I don't think she'd be pleased. But also curious. researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. Makes me angry to think that about what they did here. Hmm? They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. No, I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good, yes? I'm good. Very good. Getting hard to control strength. Today bit offhand a feeder. Cannot help it so strong. Hungry, always hungry. Cannot control. Eat, must eat. Eater must eat. So there was some success to this. Supplies for the stuff neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. The verification key. The same way. You found the key? Great, I'll call the others. Yeah. Seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. Please do not let this be a trap. So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be similar, but this is a far cry from the temple that held Havaligamanda. All the machinery appears to be still in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. With our blessing, we managed to fell the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Gulilja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shell taught me how. So much data. I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tashalja. Brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Tashalja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments, Research Logs. Sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted. Even if not, it'll take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. Alright, I'll transfer it to this storage device I brought. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It's a fruitful adventure for the both of us. I was fully expecting something to just kind of lurk in the shadows and kind of just ambush us. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. First things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. Why is there not an option for us to have like the neon hair colors? Welcome back. Kalilja has already given me the storage device. It looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so we'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alize and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. The mood has us a bit worried. Don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I've finished my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. What? Alize isn't wrong. Mood out there is so grim. So the Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. The journey home won't be an easy one for those who've grown old. That's why it's mostly been younger folk who've been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word that problem has reached us in Turiolol. My brother's doing all he can to see the Zaktoral's railroads restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things quite easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kaona seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaolani Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kaona informed. I got all this stuff from... all this from... the newest dungeon, and none of it is aiming gear. Just as well, because my current equipment is still better than this. Hey Magnus, Third of Resolve, and Vals to boot. Vals and Skycloak to boot. What can I do for you? We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's been an increasing number of people looking to return to Tural and that can't make the journey on foot. Oh, I see. As it happens, the Val Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Ah, scratch the on this way. Hey, Hey, Aaronvald! Bit of a change of fashion. Did our little bun finally grow out of his old clothes? Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner. I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. So you're hearing about the railroad too? It was in part for my sake that the original Dawnblazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamity has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawnblazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. Now we're back to our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Mewahetson. That is the Ronik. Though the Hetzaro, that for all of them are none too pleased about the Hetzo being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution to devise is quieting the railroads, and to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the tracks. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them, or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. What the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronik's preferred grazing areas though? Oh? It's all that they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronik's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I'm not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Mewahetsoan for their insight. Again with these names. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter. I too would hear what the Hetzaro and Hetzaro have to say about it. They're the ones most affected after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Hawato. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hetzaro encampment if you like. Nope, I'm flying past you. About resolve, about reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. What brings you all the way to Mewahetsoan? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Zaktaral Railroad. You two have noted the Rorik's unexpected change of behavior, then. My son, Shepetto, has been looking into this matter. Shepetto? Normally, we'd expect the Rorik to keep to their favorite grounds nearby for a while. Despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong with the quantity or quality of the grazing in Yoanan and Yotenang. He refused to keep to where they would normally. They're the big names keep on tripping up my use, but I can't speak. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward toward your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hetsara would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am Hetsara of descent. My parents traveled with the Roric as well. I myself have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle. I am forced to assume... Just encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stall keeper until Yala's markets, and that's where I met the Dawn Servant found and adopted me. I'd already been in the palace some time when Lavati came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude. I wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I'd always be there for her. Truly, never heard of this Ronic choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision. Nor any Hetsara willing to leave their own flesh and blood behind. Must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say that they are following in their footsteps, that I might better make excuses for their actions, never much appealed to me. Even if it might help you better understand the Ronic's current behavior, as it is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with Hetzaru may my discomfort with Hetzaru way may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, but nevertheless see me repeat past mistakes. Refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor Dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Ronic, and what they mean to you. I want to learn with an open mind. We'd be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of Hetsara culture with me? I should like to approach this with fervent curiosity that you and my sister share. But it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. And that's it. You'll learn more of the Ronic, and we'll look around the plains. And perhaps in the process, we'll find the answers we seek. The quickest way to learn about our way of life is to do as we do. I hope you're not above manual labor. I am not the most experienced, I am ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Now, introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask for help. And ask if you can help. I'm happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let's meet back here later to share what we've learned. Shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would get lost in the tangle, like it's not. Ah, Shepetto sent a Roric brush with you, did he? How like him? You just run it through one little patch at a time, gently. Oh, grew weary from the prolonged battle with its coats. I'm gonna tell you now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done! The success for our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat, less susceptible to illness. Hilm's coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries, should the need arise. I'm afraid to finish with my task for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you'll likely already know that the Ronik are our Hetzo, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into two, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hetsaro must also part with half our number. You may think it's strange and stressful custom, but over the years, it's seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetsuo. You're alright there? The wind will go right through it, without my needle and sinew. These are precisely what I need. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Ronik hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally wouldn't worry. So their cattle is everything to them. You're learning about the Hitsara way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I arrive at them myself. Hetsor provide us with something that we use in medicines. Poultices, and soap to drive away pests and sustain our fires. What is it? Is it dung? Again? It sounds like there's a sorry there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered myriad uses for Ronic chips over time, even a boon to our way of life. Where there is a need, a Hetzo always provide. Even if it's a shitty one. Literally. Smell of grass and the wind. Which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us, if I've been on the short side. Is that a jab at me being a Lalafell? I have to wonder how Valcona is getting on. I assume he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is now. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with raising the Ronique and ended up rather far afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination to force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. How is your own work? Have you anything to share? The hetero life revolves around the Ronique. In turn, the people receive all they need. Yes, I feel the truth of this myself. I was hesitant to leave my fate to the whims of the Hetzo rather than the tread man-made paths. I arrived where I was meant to be all the same. Mine is not the only way. At times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Ronique, as they did to me. So I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course. Regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We're here to service the people of Tural, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today. And I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hetzo are concerned. I'm glad to hear that, Falcona. Welcome among our herd anytime. There's still the issue of what's driving them away. Fauna, how did it go? I was hoping for a voice cutscene, damn it. I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetzo. They nourish the Hetzaro as they grow and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronique are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. Hazara would never cage them, neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to their tracks is out of the question. It is practically important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Ronique's once favorite grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine. The place is too quiet. Not just the Ronique, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratoraptors, but they look to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Though the Hitsaro would have surely put two and two together were the cause geological. I measured the area's ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption. I did notice one anomaly. We're dealing with a major predator then. A strong etheric signature to the east. We cross the plain, albeit slowly. Yep, it's a predator. A large animal, perhaps? And a powerful one, like it's not a predator, given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail, by something with very large fangs. Could it be a Torohetzo? A Turu Hetzo? Ronic Reaver in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that seal Hetzo in the night is another evocative one. The Chupacabra, then. The Ronic can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turu-Hetzo. The scales are tough as adamant. Neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. Well-toothed carnivore is usually with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I cannot tell you why this one is so far from home, and it's packed both. Wait. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronique's consternation is clear. That is our next move. We must drive this Reaver away. They might return to their grazing lands in peace. Never fear. I'll make certain that the beast threatens you no more. I have a feeling it's a creature from inside the dome that made it out. After all, if people can come and go from the dome, that's not to say that animals can't either. The Grievers, a clear threat to the local population. Do not allow it to roam unchecked. It won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. And if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior, where it may be found.
Help! Help!
Okay.
Oduruhetsu is coming this way!
Right at them.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Alright, here we go.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Ronek is
Don't worry, we're right behind you.
There they are!
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers. The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind. There must be
birds.
something up ahead. Come! There!
These are no match for the likes of us.
I'll tear them apart.
In a panic was clearly an understatement.
I see you two know the art of the buzzsaw.
More are coming!
Despite all these predators, I feel like the worst is yet to come. Gators!
All or nothing, then.
Whoa! Why can't I do that? Super fighting robot. Avatar Queen.
It seems that did the trick.
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Yep, I knew it. There's something even worse coming. Oh, that's a big one.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronak Reaver, and no mistake.
There! That one there! Not so fast!
Why'd you run in alone like that, you idiot?
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the head soul!
Okay. Okay, idiots. Atta girl.
Kona! Are you alright?
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronak to safety.
There. You've nothing to fear.
Right! Let's finish the job!
I thought it would be some sort of thunder beast from beyond the dome. But this is still really cool looking.
I made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
Then lock and load reason.
You'll find the vow of reason is not without resolve.
Well, this is annoying. You're gonna need to find an opening in its scale.
Not even a scratch!
Buy me some time to think, will you?
I will not hit him as hard.
Must have a weakness, and I will find it. Keep it busy. I need time.
I will hit it as hard as I can once it's. Hmm?
Go for the legs.
Alright, time to hit it with everything I got.
Now we just have to keep it pinned. You're thinking, Kona!
A protective current of ether. But whence does it flow? I've got it!
Well,
One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and...
the marksman spite from the PvP.
you're done for! That stemmed the flow of protective ether.
Alright, then
Nothing stopping us now!
hit him with everything you got.
Still not backing down, huh? Fine with me.
That's different. Oh boy.
We must disperse that ether ere the river recovers it.
You're right. Because all this should be
This is going
mine.
to hurt.
Once again. All guns blazing! Booyah! And monster hunted.
We did it. The Etso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehwa Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
I did no more than is a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
I must say, I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again.
Again?
Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now. I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeni Hetta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozeni Hetta. That's where the Pelu Pelu trader found me as a babe. Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature. "We're distracted," I heard one cry. "Save our son! Save the Hetso!" After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. As the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu Pelu would. And one day, even a Dawn servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am done, servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Well, Kona's got some closure. To know that the Hetzo are safe is more than enough. Yet, would it be wrong to hope that in protecting them, we also avenge my parents? It is the least I owe to them for all this time. Alison, I thank you for standing by me. As Dawn servant, and the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Now, let's return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We've removed the root cause of the Ronek straying from their favorite grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure. A silent whistle, as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it'll be a far sight better than a traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let's return to Shaolani Station and begin work on it. And then, Wabalika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. Or so they've heard. Heard. Like Ronek heard. Also, I don't think I'll be streaming the raid stuff. I want to keep that stuff private. I'll mainly just be doing the story. And maybe the Arcadian. Oh, I went too far. Because the Arcadian has been fun. At least until I catch up. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. So the Ronek were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are, and Valcona's not too bad himself. Oh, this whistle idea. Sit tight, we'll have this train on tracks before you know it. Okay. Choo-hoo!
Whoa! She looks as good as new!
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronek are concerned, we've spared no effort. From From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Ah, they fixed his glasses.
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
Yippee-ki-yay! And suddenly barrier. And suddenly a new barrier emerges. This one from the fire world.
There's a Ronek up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
On it. Just point it in the general direction and...
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
There we have it.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like.
It's like... Don't know if that kicked through or not.
Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
He was hoping for expansions. For a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. Now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. For Shalani, then the continent. Watch out, Zaktaral, here we come. Sure, Lieutenant Jim, but we got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. The efforts here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamity. Come on, there we go. Oh, looks like this is the last quest. Well, it's possible that Shales may made some headway by now. And regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale? What do you have her working on? Lulja's mother. I feel the same in his shoe. I'd feel the same in his shoes. Have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kakiwa we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. I need to search for what she left behind, because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. Oh my god, I just noticed. No! The little outrunner dangling like a keychain on his back. Speaking of things that you're carrying, yep, she met. Is that a teeny tiny Kakiwa? What? No! It is merely a token from Alexandria. Friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it was as good souvenir as any. But whatever you say, for what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. I'm never gonna let it down, Bun. Yes. Well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time. See if there is aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course! We can give you the full story on the way. A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shell has nearly finished processing the data. She'll be able to share her findings with us imminently. Ishtola! I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Ishtola? What brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in the Sky Deep Cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I would do well to have the company of an expert on Electro. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we finish here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the kin you're keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny. Of course. Trust me. Trust me, I want to learn the secrets of the travel too, so it can be more than just me that's heading back to the first.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit. But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so to answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Teishulja herself.
Audio?
While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
day, Shelja. And I decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose. Mother? Officially I am. Was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vitral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal. I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran. And in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path. A path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength. His unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him. His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't.
His greatest fear, fatherhood.
No. Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all. He'll come around. We'll be a happy family. Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well. But I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where to hide you.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamachi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. If we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now. But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
Better to know. A profound response for one so young. Though I wish he didn't have to be. The little Joe is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. It's fortunate he has you. Thank you, Shale. As of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Gululja. If you remember one thing, remember that. Now then, I have shared what I can at present. I am ready to head to living memory when you are. I'm planning to be thorough, so we'll need to stock our supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we have all much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. Expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back, but the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuniola were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Lane 09. Oh, up there. There may still be people gathering in Practice Park. Let's try that first.
people look uneasy. Did something happen?
What is happening?
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zaraljar's attack on the city.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
The consequences of your culture.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
Huh? But she's supposed to be dead. How? How?
What?
I need an explanation.
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
I don't understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
But not her memory.
You there, Gusson. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
But she's dead.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty.
What?
What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria.
What?
Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live. Not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however.
I have prepared an alternate solution. All of us shall be made endless. I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral!
Hold on a moment.
The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
Ascian.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
So you claim.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
Considering the design of her crown and the fact that it has some sort of significance, I'm sensing Ascian shenanigans again. Yep, that smile. I see that smile. There's something else. I remember a little bit. We only caught the proclamation from a distance, but I can tell you that the message about neo-regulators was received with utmost clarity. It couldn't have been Sphene. She should have been destroyed when the Meso terminal shut down. Without a single Alexandrian to bear witness, presented with an identical figure claiming to be their beloved queen, it's no surprise I would choose to believe she's alive. What is troubling, however, is their denial that the funeral was held in her honor, as if their memories have been erased. Given that the members of Oblivion remain unaffected, it was likely the work of the regulators. Whose design? Someone smart enough to play at being the Queen of Reason. In that guise, even if some suspect deception, most of Alexandria will be on her side. We need to find out who she really is. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be present until Oblivion's network turns up a lead. Or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. Calling it now. Asian shenanigans. Meanwhile, in living memory. Hmm? Hmm? Stolas found.
Where am I?
Huh?
My people? Are they safe?
Huh? Huh?
Why am I?
Hmm? In fear of death, the people turn to Queen Reborn, their fates to learn. Huh. Well, that was, concerning. Well, looking at the time, I think that's it for the stream. Thank you all for tuning in, those who decided to drop on by. Tune in sometime as I go through Dawntrail's New Game Plus, and hopefully finish off the Entropy Center. And, yeah. I really do hope that I can get back into the swing of streaming again. But, also, you can follow me on Blue Sky at the Rippington. Wait, at Rippington on Blue. I'm still getting used to that. Just Rippington on Blue Sky. And for now, and as always, until next time, folks. See you later, and be careful of Asian shenanigans. Bye bye.